Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are studying chapter 10 of the Bhagavad Gita. That is the opulence of the Absolute. It is about the opulences of Krishna. And we had completed text 11 last time of chapter 10, and we will just go back to the 10th and 11th text to get the continuity. So the 10th was Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti apurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yen mam upyanti te. So to those who are always engaged in my devotional service with loving ecstasy, priti purvakam, in loving mood, dadami aham, I give, dadami buddhi yogam tam yen mam upyanti te. I give them the buddhi yoga, the intelligence by which they can come to me. I give them the understanding and the intelligence. So this is a very important understanding to those who are constantly devoted to me and worship me with love. Now, in the initial stages, for example, as a Reiki healer, we are looking at using this divine energy that comes from Krishna to fulfill our material requirements or shortcomings. So that is a lower stage actually. It is, in a sense, you can call this karma yoga. That we know the path, we are looking at the divine, we have some understanding, but we are still attached to material benefits. So that is karma yoga. And if we are looking at trying to understand Krishna through mental speculation, analysis, observation of various phenomena, then that is Gyan Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga or Buddhi Yoga comes later. It is an outcome of these processes. So one thing is very clear, that this is a process. It is not instantly available necessarily for everyone, because in the beginning we are all motivated. We had discussed this motivation factors earlier. Krishna says there are 4 motivation factors. There's the artharthi, jnani, jigyasu, person who is in financial pain, in physical pain or distress, and one who is curious, and one who is actually wise, one who is in knowledge. So that is jnani. So Bhaktivedanta Swami is saying this here, that the person is going through various stages, and the final stage is Buddhi Yoga, and that is the complete yoga, which is Bhakti Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, and that is the highest perfectional stage of life. In text 11, Krishna is saying, Tesham eva anukampartham aham jnanajam tamah nashyami atma bhavishtha jnana deepena bhasvata. So out of compassion for them, anukampartham, special unconditional mercy, not related to anything else except acknowledgement that these souls are struggling within their limitations. So due to ignorance and due to this darkness, they are struggling of my superior energy, which is separated, which is the Maya energy, which is the 3 material modes of nature, goodness, passion and ignorance. And out of that confusion and darkness, I help to dispel this, because this is the outer energy that is making people in a state of illusion. Then within, Krishna says that within I dispel, nashiyami, I destroy, tama, the darkness which is coming out of ignorance, ajnana, jam, and bhasvata. They get this knowledge, jnana deepena bhasvata, glowing illumination is there, because in the illumination the darkness of ignorance is removed. So this is special illumination coming from Krishna. And that is the point where we can actually experience the loving tendency to serve Krishna. Because our loving tendency is covered up by illusion, it is covered up by darkness. And then, because of the endeavors, the effort the person is making, because of him going on that path with his handicaps. So these are handicaps. Even Karma Yoga is a handicap. Jnana Yoga is a handicap because it is a lower stage. But even with all that, a person is moving towards the service of Krishna, then he, out of his causeless mercy, anukampartham, special mercy, he destroys their ignorance through this Jnana Yoga and giving them this special knowledge, Jnana Deepena, the illumination of knowledge, and that destroys the ignorance, the darkness that is coming from there. And of course, it is recommended to chant the Mahamantra, the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That also destroys the darkness that is within, because it is a direct, potent energy of the divine, as good as the divine's energy directly, and destroys the mental concoctions and illusions. So today we come to text 12 and 13 is Arjuna Vacha, Arjun speaking. Now, after Krishna has finished saying this, then Arjun speaks. Param Brahma Param Dham Pavitram Parmam Bhavan Purusham Saswatam Divyam Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum Ahu Tvam Rishaya Sarve Devarshi Narada Tatha Asita Devala Vyasa Swayam Cha Eva Bravisi Me. So Arjun says that you are the supreme. He is addressing Lord Krishna and saying that you are the supreme truth, Parabrahma Param Dham. So the Dham, Param Dham, the place of shelter, the place of sustenance. You are the supreme truth, you are the place of shelter and sustenance, the ultimate highest. Pavitram, purest, Paramam, supreme, Bhavan, yourself. Bhavan is a respectful address to say you, yourself. Purusham, personality. Shaswatam, Divyam, you are the original divine Adi Devam, the original master of everything, the original Devta, the original supreme, Lord of all lords, the source of all sources, in other words, who is, importantly, Ajam, unborn, Vibhum, greatest, Ahutvam, Rishaya, to whom all the sages, the rishis, and the other sage amongst the demigods, Narad, and also Asita and Devala, these are also very powerful sages, Vyasdev, Swayam cha eva pravishi me. So all these great sages have said this about you. And he's named four of them, Narad, Asit, Devala, and Vyas. And he is saying, now you yourself are telling me this. So this is something extraordinary and wonderful, that you are also telling me the same thing. That what these sages have said about you, now you are personally declaring this to me. Text 14. Sarvam etat ritam manye yat mam vadasi keshava nahi te bhagavan vyaktim vidhu devana danava. Of all these truths that you have told me, I accept them all entirely. But neither the demigods nor the demons know your personality, know your opulences. So, the opulences of Krishna are many. There are actually 6 opulences. So, there is beauty, power, fame, knowledge, wealth, and renunciation. So Krishna is complete in all these 6 opulences, and that is what Arjuna is referring to, that you are the supreme opulent person of all opulent people, and nobody can approach your qualities in quantum, in quantity. And Arjuna is very enlivened to hear this directly from Krishna. And he's giving reference to all the other rishis who have also said the same thing. So he is very, very enlivened and very enthusiastic, and that I totally accept the truth of all that you have told me. This is a key point. Totally accepting what Krishna is saying, that is surrender. So at that point there is no Gyan Yoga, there is no Karma Yoga, there is none of the other yogas which are motivated. There has to be a point of total surrender and acceptance. When you are at that point, when someone is at that point, then that is the beginning of Bhakti Yoga, of Gyan Yoga. So we have now text 15. Swayam eva atmana atmanam vethatvam purushottama bhut bhavana bhuteshu deva dev jagatpate. Swayam eva atmana atmanam vetha tvam purushottama. You alone know yourself by your potencies. You are the origin of all beings, you are the God of all gods. Bhuta Bhavana, origin of everything. Bhuteshu, you are the Lord of everything. Deva Deva, you are the master of all the demigods, you are the supreme God of all the gods, of all lesser gods. Jagatpate, you are in fact Lord of the entire universe. So that is Lord Jagannath, or Lord of the entire universe. You are Jagatpate, you are the master and Lord of the whole universe. So there may be other lords, there may be junior lords, inferior lords, small ones, many people who think they are lords. Lord help them, because they are not. And then he is saying that you are the supreme, in other words, the supreme source and origin of everything. And he has elaborated what does that mean. So that is Arjun's understanding at this point in time. And then he goes on to ask Krishna in text 16, Vaktum arhasi asheshena divyahi atma vibhutaya yabhi vibhutibhi lokan iman tvam vyapya tishthasi. Please tell me in detail if I deserve to know, arhasi, if I deserve to know, the divine powers of yourself, vibhuteya, opulences, yabhi vibhutibhi, lokan iman, tvam vyapya tishthasi. Please tell me if you think I am worthy of knowing this, about your divine powers by which you expand and you are in all these worlds and all the lokas, in all the planetary systems in the entire universe, and how do you stay there? How do you pervade? You're all pervading. Please tell me more about this, about your divine powers through which you are expanding through this universe, through all the planetary systems. And then text 17, Katham vidyam aham yogims tvam sada parichantayan keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyasi bhagwan maya. So katham vidyam aham, how should I know you? Yogin, O supreme mystic of all mystics. Tvam sada parichintayan, always how to focus on you, how to think about you. Keshu keshu, in what variety of manners. Cha bhaveshu, should I think of your nature, how you are to be remembered. Chintaya asi Bhagwan, O Supreme, Maya, by me. How should I remember you? How should I meditate on you? In what are the various forms in which I should meditate on you? And what are those forms? What are the various natures? So this is Arjun's question. And in text 18, Vistarenatmano yogam vibhutim cha janardhana bhuya kathaya triptirhi shrinvato nasti me amritam. So, Vistarena, what is the description? Give me in great detail the description about yourself, your yogic powers, your opulences, Janardhan, killer of atheists is what Bhaktivedanta Swami is referring here in this particular text. Janardhan also means one who rejuvenates and renovates. There is a story about Janardhan in that Lord Jagannath at Puri, once a year for 2 weeks, he is in isolation getting himself renovated, and that is done by Lord Janardhan at the Janardhan temple. So Lord Janardhan is the aspect of Krishna who rejuvenates one, puts one back into one's proper condition. So killer of atheists or killer of atheism, killer of all the defects that one can have in the material zone. So that is Janardhan. Janardhan also means a healer, because Janardhan is healing the defects of various people. So Bhuya kathaya triptihi srinvata, I want to hear, please describe, because nasti me amritam, because I am never tiring of hearing of your nectarian words. So please continue to tell me all this in great detail about your great potencies and your opulences and your glories, because I never tire of hearing your nectarian words. So we will pause at text 18 here today, and I would like to take you back to this one statement here, which is that Krishna is saying that those who are constantly devoted and worshipping me with love, that is the text 10, I give the understanding, the Buddhi Yoga by which they come to me. So again, the understanding I want to underline here, that as karmic healers, we are initially interested in the karma aspect, which is again not pure devotional service. It is on the way to becoming, and then we are expanding our knowledge by analysis, by speculation, that is Gyan Yoga, that is still not pure. But it's on the way. So when you are combining these two, and gradually you come to the point of detachment from the consequences of whatever healing results you are asking for, you are now entered the state of Bhakti Yoga. So this is very, very important to understand. And many healers have experienced this from time to time, that during the course of their evolution and progress through the healing energy, gradually they become detached from whether the results are coming or not. We have mentioned this many times earlier. Many of you have also shared this, that it doesn't matter at eventually what the results are, as long as you are flowing with the healing energy, flowing with the joy energy of Krishna, which is Reiki and the KQ force. So these are the pure joyous energies of the divine. So you just need an excuse to channel it. It's going somewhere, it's flowing through you automatically. It is flowing through you systematically when you are using the methodology. and you will come to the point where you are not motivated by results that much. You are seeing something requires healing, so you are channeling the healing. So this is the Janardhan energy of Krishna, the renovation energy, the repair, you can say, the healing of any defect. So this is again, we can correlate that this is again a repairing or healing energy of Krishna. Both the Reiki is the heart energy, and of course the KQ force is the crown chakra energy. So this is the combination. There is the heart, and then there is the crown chakra divinity aspect that is renovating us, that is repairing all our defects. So if there are any questions at this time, we have paused now at text 18, where Arjuna is saying, "Tell me again, O Janardhan, of your mighty potencies, great glories, your opulences, for I never become tired of hearing your nectarian words." Okay. So, any questions? Yes. Anyone has any questions or comments or?
We mentioned this again, the three modes of material nature.
Mode of,
Passion and ignorance.
yes.
Going back to chapter 7, I think. Is our understanding correct that is the entanglement of the material world we can?
Yes. The entanglement is coming from these three material modes, which Krishna says is his separated superior energy of Maya, which is the three material modes of nature, which is what keeps us in illusion. And that is now creating the false ego, which is active to keep us in illusion. So this becomes cleansed and purified once we engage ourselves in devotional service to Krishna.
So even when we're healing, we're basically trying to overcome these three.
Yes. So by the healing process, your ego aspect is getting healed. The only thing that is creating this great problem for everything that you're going through is your ego. But it does it in certain very cunning ways and clever ways, and we are thinking that actually it's not the ego. And the other extreme is thinking everything is the ego, so it doesn't matter because everything is ego. So it's okay. It's not okay. So the thing to understand is that the ego aspect, the false ego aspect as a controller, that is the one that has to be healed. And if you go to the third principle of Reiki, which is just for today I shall not anger, that is coming from ego position. So the anger is coming from frustration of your desires not being fulfilled, or your wishes not being fulfilled, or taking a hit in your false identification of yourself where you are shown to be not so supreme. So that is all ego only. So that just for today I shall not anger embodies this whole aspect completely. So one needs to be vigilant about this, keeping this in mind. So eventually when you come to a point of non-complaining, and actually not complaining, not helplessly accepting something because, I can't do anything about it and I'm still frustrated, but accepting where you are. If you are very sick, you have to take medicine for the rest of your life, please do it. Don't insist that healing should wipe this clean, because that's where you are today. You may take the medicine and have a good life. What is the problem? But if you say, no, healing should magically create a position where such and such a thing happens, then you are in the controller position. That's a controller mind. That is now the ego mind that is saying, I am a controller and I want to control it through the healing process. And my wishes must be granted. So you can wish, but to expect that it must happen, that is not correct. Nothing to stop you from wishing. But don't believe that my wishes have to be given to me. They may not. They may or they may not, or they may be modified. They may be reduced. They may be transformed in some different way and given to you. But you can ask. But don't have this, I asked, I didn't get. Yes, you didn't get. You won't get either, in many cases. We had this discussion on Thursday, that there is a great sense of entitlement and expectation that, I'm entitled now, I can get everything that I want. So this I want business is coming from the ego. So you need to understand that you are never going to get everything that you want. The purpose of Reiki healing, the karmic healing, the purpose of KQ force healing is not to deliver to you everything that you want. The purpose is to free you from binding consequence karma. And along the way, to keep you interested, your karma is getting healed, you are having a better life. But there is no infinite better life in the material zone. Clearly. That is only possible in the spiritual. So whatever you are having, whatever problems exist, I was just thinking today, there were so many devotees of Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There was a person who had leprosy, who was a great devotee of Krishna. And you can say, why this person had leprosy? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hugged him and his leprosy disappeared. So the point is not that you should come to that point of, I have all these problems and, with one touch everything should be healed. It may be, it may not be. You have to get on with the job of your life, of fulfilling your obligations, working with the healing energy, working with other people, certainly, to complete whatever you need to complete to get rid of your binding consequences of your actions. Once that is done, and you are in a detached manner offering everything that you do to Krishna through the healing, you are in the Buddhi Yoga and the Bhakti Yoga mood, and that is the place that you need to be more often. So you have many methods, and ultimately life is then just a matter of waiting for this whole thing to come to a fruition, where you will be liberated from your karmic bindings and engage in the service of Krishna. So that is the most important thing. Because in the four traditional aspects of Vedic societal goals, that is dharma, artha, kam and moksha, they follow a sequence. There is dharma, you follow the regulated path, the principles, the religious principles. Artha, you get financial wealth and so on, power. And then kam means you satisfy your senses, you satisfy your desires. And then eventually you get moksha, liberated from those desires. But in our case, there is a fifth, there is a service to Krishna. So moksha is available, but service to Krishna is not easily available. So as healers, as Buddhi Yogena people, as Bhakti Yoga people, that is available to you through the connection that you have, through Reiki and the KQ force, and of course anybody who has a traditional Brahminical connection also. So these are all available there. However, we have it much easier because we can go systematically through a path of coming to the point of detachment very easily, very simply, while fulfilling all our desires. So dharma, artha, kam is there, and moksha is implied if you continue on this path. And then you are in this whole process engaging in the service of Krishna, which is much more important than moksha. So moksha may or may not be there, but the service to Krishna is more important. Because in that everything is included. So whether you are doing it in a contaminated way or you are doing it in a pure way, if you stick to the path, you will eventually get the result. So there will be a clearing, there will be a cleansing, there's a process. It's not overnight. And that is the thing that we have to recall. Any questions or comments?
So the Janardhan energies are Reiki and the KQ force together?
Well, these are the energies of Krishna himself. and various aspects of his energies come. Now we know that these come from Krishna, the Reiki and the KQ force. We cannot say it is coming directly from Janardhan. It may be, because Janardhan is the healing energy aspect of Krishna. So we may consider that that is possibly, we do not know, but it makes sense that the Janardhan energies, the repair and maintenance and healing energies of Krishna in the male form are coming from the Janardhan aspect. These are all vibhutis. Vivid bhuteshu. Vivid means many different forms. Bhuteshu means forms. So these are vibhutis, the opulences of Krishna in his different expansions. But ultimately it is Krishna. Even Janardhan is serving Krishna. Radharani is serving Krishna. So even his own expansions which are unseparated, the Swayansh avatars of Krishna, they are all servants of Krishna, eventually. That much is very clear. They are all serving Krishna in some way or the other. Even Lord Ram, even Lord Balram, although they are taking different aspects. And to us it seems maybe Balram is Krishna's elder brother. And that's because Balram was Lakshman. And that time he complained, why do I have to be the younger brother? Next time I'll be the elder brother. So, okay, so you take the elder brother position next time. So that's Balram. So like that, so many things are happening. We are not actually competent to understand much about it. But we can just, enjoy listening and being with those pastimes of Krishna and hear about his glories, hear about the glories of his expansions, which are Krishna himself. So that's all perfectly fine. So everybody wants some variety. So there's infinite variety in Krishna's work, in his activities, in his life. So studying it, you can plunge in anywhere and, enjoy narratives and discussions about his pastimes. So that is good. Okay. So Janardhan word is very, very important, very significant for us, as you have identified also. Good. So we will conclude here at text 18 of chapter 10 of the Bhagavad Gita, the opulences of the Supreme Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Okay, so we thank our internet community and we bid them goodbye. See you next week and wishing you a very happy new year coming up. All progress and happiness to you all.